Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Trading Table. This is Andrew. Joined with me is Landon, and today we're going to be going over some of the biggest plays to watch for this week. The general idea of what we think the market's going to do this week and more. Just looking at the S&P 500 here from Friday, just to go back over it, right? We were kind of just chop all day. Very, very boring day. Not a lot. It was kind of just a consistent move up. We did have some pullbacks down and a little bit of some roller coaster rides there. But as we got to like midday, probably one of the most boring days we've had in a very long time. Something I do want to go over, though, real quick, right? If we just head over to the VIX, which is the volatility index for the S&P 500, we're currently up 6% from on Friday. We were up 6%, right? Thursday was very low. Friday, it's kind of, showing signs that it's strengthening and that we're going to might make a move to the upside here. So let's keep an eye on the VIX, right? Because this can bring some short-term volatility to SPY. And, that's better than, whatever happened on Friday, because this was actually so boring. Not a lot of good setups, right? Just jumping over to PDD real quick. I really would recommend, if you're going to watch one thing this week, I'd say SPY, but the second thing I'd say is PDD. PDD, there's so much money in this stock. I'm going to be looking for entry on Monday. If you guys want to look at my levels here real quick, I'll zoom out so you guys can pause it. Here's my levels for PDD, right? We haven't really seen anything under the 145.40 level for a while, right? But you can see here that this bounce kind of started the whole uptrend. And I remember Landon had some contracts this day. He bought perfectly in this dip, and it just kind of soared for the rest of the day. I mean, look at that move to the upside right after that bounce. That's just a beautiful move by PDD. And I do believe that it can continue going up, right? A few of the big money plays that we've had lately have been like kind of almost seem like they're out of reach, because it's like strike prices for all-time highs, but not PDD. That would not be anything new for PDD. And if you think that's the all-time high, if we jump up to like the 5-year chart here and make it look like it's not a sonograph reading, we can see that 212.5, 212.60 was the high for PDD back in 2021. And PDD is the holdings company for Temu. It's the parent company of Temu. And that is basically like a pretty big, store in China. You got Alibaba and you got Temu. So it can kind of compare to Amazon over in China. So just think about that, the most populated country in the world. There's companies like Amazon for it. And, it did pull down really, really hard here. But I honestly think we can make, I don't know if we'll make a new all-time high, but in these next few months, I do believe we can get back to, these relatively high levels. So, this play has a good amount of time to it. I believe it expires August 20th. Once again, I'm still mobile. I'll be back, fully at the setup on Tuesday, but I am mobile right now, unfortunately. So I don't have the liberty of checking Discord right now because that refuses to load. But I do believe, this contract, what I'm saying is this contract has a good amount of time to it. So I would not worry too much about PDD, right? And the potential for the upside here is insane. We pulled back on Friday. I was going to enter, but I said I'd wait for Monday just in case, I don't know what could happen over the weekend. Maybe China invades Taiwan. And honestly, that's the biggest risk I'd say with this right now. Not even, PDD just kind of falling off. It's just like if, China invades Taiwan, which is kind of pretty prevalent in world news right now, who knows what will happen, right? I mean, anything could happen. But just, looking at the dollar real quick, I've been saying gold to the upside for quite some time now. The dollar kind of had to jump up. It's been downtrending for quite some time now. If we, if we jump out to the hourly chart here real quick, right, we can see that we have a pretty, nice downtrend. That was kind of broken, though, this week. Just a lot of volatility coming in. We did have a few economic events take place. Now we have retail sales month on month on the 18th, and building permits. I don't think these affect the market too much. We'll look at that later in the video, but you know, dollar is something to watch. If it keeps weakening, gold to the upside, right? If we look at gold right here, or at least the GLD ticker symbol, we can see that gold is kind of coming down off of an all-time high. I do believe that is all-time. Yes, it is. Gold is coming down off of an all-time high. So, I still have gold to the upside just because I still think the dollar can weaken. There's a lot of things going on in the U.S. right now, but it being an election year, it can be kind of unpredictable. In previous election years, you can look around and see what history has said, but I do believe that gold will make a move back up. It's kind of just a matter of time. We did have a big money play in for gold, and I'll double check if they're still on Monday and let you guys know if anyone in the Discord wants to see that. But, gold pulled back really nicely when some data came out. It was I'm not sure what data was. Kind of drawing a blank here, but some data did come out, and it sent gold kind of into a downward spiral for a little bit, and then it recovered very, very nicely. So I still have gold to the upside. Let's keep on watching gold. And now we're going to jump over to our earnings. So, just looking at our earnings real quick for the week. Very, very boring earnings week. Really not a lot going on. Never heard of these guys. Never heard of these guys. I mean, I've heard of Kroger, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone, really trade their stock. So, pretty boring earnings week. Maybe we can watch, some of these companies if you want to play the aftermath of the earnings, like if it's sending the company into a death spiral. Feel free. We don't recommend playing earnings, so just be careful for that. We do have retail sales month on month, and I'll be jumping over to a different website real quick, just to show you guys what what the economic calendar looks like. It's a little bit more in depth in this. So let's head over to that website real quick. So this website's investing.com. We use it to kind of see our, economic calendar. I highly recommend that you guys look at this every single, Sunday, just to get an idea of what's going on in the week. So you have core retail sales month on month in May. I expect this number to come in pretty normal. Shouldn't affect the market too much. It has, high volatility expected, but if the number comes in relatively normal, you shouldn't expect too much, movement out of that. Retail sales month on month as well. And once again, the 3 stars means, high volatility is expected. So just keep a lookout for these. Initial jobless claims will move the market, a little bit. Crude oil inventories, of course. S&P Global U.S. Manufacturing PMI. Once again, if you see, the number come in and it's kind of outrageous compared to this number, expect a move. But other than that, it should come in relatively normal. So we do have a lot of events that could affect the market this week. So in spite of a pretty boring earnings week, we could have some movement from that. But nevertheless, not a whole lot going on here in the market this week. Just to go over some of our, previous plays from last week, if you guys want to catch up with them or whatever, just get ready to write it down because we do have quite a few last week. When the VIX is low, big money does tend to get in on these plays. Just looking at our first one, right? We have PBR. We had 13 puts. We called out on the 12th here, and that was a very, very nice move down. If you guys played PBR, congratulations. This literally has no correlation. This is like a South American Energy and Minerals Corporation, so literally correlates like nothing to, SPY and whatnot. So, great move down here. That was a wonderful play. That's just very consistent price action downward. It could keep moving down, so, keep your eye on it. We'll check on Monday if big money's still in. If you guys are interested in this play, just mention me in the Discord. Hey, is big money still in this? I'll get right on it and let you know. Our next one, ZI, right? Zoom Info Technologies Incorporated, right? We've got 16 calls, so very far out of the money, expiring September 16th, 2024. I have these written down, so my handwriting is a little bit sloppy, so I apologize for that as I can't access Discord. We also called this one on the 12th. This one, not exactly doing the best right now, but this one is pretty long term. It has a good amount of time to it. So, big money could have gotten stopped out. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I would have stopped out if I were them. So, this is why it's always important to have a stop loss, right? Not all of these plays work out. But, I'd say most do. Looking at Square real quick, Square Block Incorporated, right? We've got 63 calls expiring 9/20/2024, and we call this out on the 11th. Now, I'm pretty sure I remember looking at this one because I was like, oh man, it's like kind of pulling back. Should I enter? Nah, Big Money took their money and ran this day. So, it was like a day long. They got a really far expiration, but, they did get out at a good time though because Square did pull back. This play did work out actually wonderfully. Caught it pretty early in the afternoon, I believe, or, a little bit after. But nevertheless, look at that. This is when the CPI data came out, I believe. Like everything in the market had just a huge green candle, and everything was just printing up. Next, we have the Netflix 700 call. Now, this play is actually getting kind of interesting because every time I check on it, they're like just creeping closer and closer to 700. It seems like, but yeah, I mean Netflix. I mean this play is like honestly the FSLR play like we had, and I'll go over the FSLR one, even though it's like really outdated and like they're definitely out of it. But that play was so beautiful. Anyway, back to Netflix though. Call this out at the beginning of the week, I believe, either Tuesday or Monday. It doesn't really matter. I mean, look at that move. Like, oh my God, that is just a beautiful green candle coming in. So we got 700 calls from Netflix, expiring August 20th, 2024, or sorry, September 20th, 2024. And look at this price action, right? Literally beautiful. You wouldn't even get stop lossed out anywhere. Like it's just been up, up, and up. The contract never went in the red. You know what I mean? So, it's very rare that we do see that. And, I don't know if you guys remember me saying earlier in the week, but I was like, oh yeah, Netflix is going to have to make a new all-time high for this to be, kind of a play and reach. And it is almost there. It is very, very, very close. If you guys are playing this one, I would watch out, coming up here, as I guarantee there's resistance up here. So definitely scale out up here, take your profit, because this play has been just moving so nicely. Really love this play. This is such a good one. Looking at our next one though, and I know Big Money is out of this one. I just wanted to go over it, which is very important when you guys join our Discord, so you can check, if these plays are still in and still viable before you enter them. Because this one is not, and that's Amazon 190 calls, right? We called this one out on Tuesday as well, I believe, and just beautiful move to the upside. The CPI data, you see that green candle, it's kind of sticking out like a sore thumb. Pushed it super high up, and Amazon had a great day, but then, kind of tumbled down. So, yeah, Big Money, I think they took their money and got out of it, but they're definitely not in it anymore. Looking at our last one, we have Expedia. This one, I can see why they kind of did it, summer, traveling, whatnot. So, this is kind of like a more slow moving play. This is kind of like what I like. It just stress level, kind of sit back on the beach and enjoy a pina colada. But anyway, we've got 125 calls here expiring September 20th, 2024. We call this one out on Monday, I believe. Either way, Monday, Tuesday, whatever. Tuesday was literally better entry, so whatever day we called it, doesn't matter. Plays in the green. It was really green right here. You can kind of, I didn't check this one, but I will. You can kind of assume that they might have taken their money here as the contract did go in the money. So, Expedia was a great play, but that's just, the type of thing we do here. And I did promise you guys I'd go to the FSLR one real quick. This FSLR one was crazy. I probably still have it charted, but, that's just what we do. We just call out great plays, banger plays, and, but nothing will ever top the FSLR play. Okay, guys, we called it out down here at this red arrow, right? And yeah, I mean, this is just insane. At its peak, not even this peak, like around here, I think. it was up 750%. So, we haven't had something that topped this yet. This is our number one still, but who knows? Maybe we could get something this week. But that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning to the Trading Table. This has been Andrew and Landon. Please be sure to join our free Discord for more plays like this. And you can fact check this if you don't believe me. But yeah, guys, we'll see you tomorrow at market close.